Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, we have now just had the big EVO announcement show showcasing the games and details of EVO 2024. Now, we're just going to throw it out there. The games themselves are frankly not surprising, but not surprising in the very best way. Because all the games that are there are expected because we have so many brand new games coming to the FGC this year that have never had an opportunity to go to EVO just yet. So first, before any of the other details, let's just talk the roster of the games. It surely can be no surprise, as it's only like a week and change old at this point, but yes, Tekken 8 will be one of the main roster games at EVO 2024, making a very big splash to be sure, and going to be around for many years to come, I think is a very safe bet. Street Fighter 6? Of course, you betcha. Like, who would bet against Street Fighter 6? Naturally, it's going to be one of the main games of this year. The only real quote-unquote story of Street Fighter 6 is simply, will Street Fighter 6 get more entrants than Tekken 8 or not? Because technically, this is the second year of Street Fighter 6, so, you know, that first year bump, even though sometimes some games they get even more entries the next year around, right? Like, say, Guilty Gear Strive. But the first year bump's over. So who will be top dog this time around? Will it be Street Fighter 6 or will it be Tekken 8? And rounding off the big three, naturally, Mortal Kombat 1 is appearing for its first year at EVO for 2024. Liu Kang's new era in full force. By the time EVO rolls around, we'll have more characters as well. We'll have Takeda, we'll have Peacemaker, we'll have a bunch of other cameos, and I'm sure the game will keep evolving in very interesting ways. So, should be pretty fun. And hey, Guilty Gear Strive, naturally, of course. Strive's still going very strong. We're partway through Season 3 now, and there's no signs of stopping. Strive has got a lot of gas left in the tank. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And speaking of gas in the tank, naturally, the King of Fighters 15 will also be returning to EVO this year. This has always been, since it came out, one of the most fundamentally sound games in the modern FGC. A personal favorite of mine, has undergone some pretty massive changes as of late, adding new gameplay mechanics, such as the Advanced Strike, and also just recently had a good balance patch as well. I know we got City of the Wolves on the horizon sometime in the future, but for now, KOF is certainly here to stay. And keeping on, this is the year of newcomers, right? There's been so many new major fighting games, and keeping with that trend, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising will make its debut appearance at EVO this year. Rising is the true sequel to the original Grand Blue, and much better game in my opinion. Although, hey, that's just me. Take it as you will, right? But yeah, so Grand Blue looking strong, and will be here at EVO this year. And keeping with our anime sequels, Under Night In-Birth 2 will also be making its debut at EVO 2024. And yes, that means Uni will be on the big stage at EVO, so that's going to be pretty fun. So once again here, all these games, I'm very certain none of you are surprised by any of them. With so many big new games, this is almost basically what it kind of had to be. But don't get me wrong, that's still very welcome. And like last year, we have a classic game on the main stage roster, and for this year, it will be Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Last year it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and just like Marvel 3 Third Strike, man, you are going to be hard-pressed to find any other game with this kind of legacy. There's a reason people still come back to this game 20 plus years later. So as far as classic game picks go, hey, that's pretty good. I would like to see it in Virtua Fighter 5 myself, but I also know you don't do Virtua Fighter 5 until you're ready to show a Virtua Fighter 6. One day in the future, hopefully. Now, for some other notes, because there is quite a few other things here. One, you can go get your tickets right now. You can go book your hotels right now. And EVO will be at the Las Vegas Convention Center this year. And everything's all going to be in the one building, so no more traveling to Mandalay Bay for the finals on day 3. And if you get the general competitor tier ticket, your ticket will grant you access to finals day as well. It's not a separate ticket like it's traditionally been. I didn't know that last year, my first ever EVO, and people tore me to shreds, but hey, I didn't know. I've never been to EVO before last year. But now, it's just all in the one ticket, you're good to go. So everything's in the same building, everything's on the same ticket, and also every single game will get its finals showcase. There's no games that are like kind of haves and haves nots. Everyone's getting equal billing this time around. Although the top 6 versus top 8 debacle, I guess, which was a thing last year, it will remain top 6 this time around. It is done for timing reasons. These things always run long. I can't fault it necessarily, even if I don't like it. I understand the logic. So file it under it is what it is. And as for the convention part of EVO, if you will, because EVO is effectively a giant fighting game convention, the show floor, all the vendors, artist alleys, all the companies having their own booths, all the indie games having their own booths, and just all the general accoutrement of everything going on will now be all 3 days of EVO. Last year, it was just Friday and Saturday, and to me, honestly, this was my favorite part of EVO, just like kind of going around and just touring around and seeing the sights. It was legitimately a blast, so being open all 3 days, big thumbs up on that. And that's sort of the news as it currently stands for EVO 2024. Game-wise, just about exactly what you would expect, and as far as just the general tournament itself, some good quality of life changes. Now, obviously, another big part of EVO is the announcements. We all love the announcements, and since a lot of the new games are actually out at this point, probably expect more on, say, the DLC character front for announcements than wholly brand new games. Project L, maybe, but they sort of do their own thing. They don't necessarily rely on fighting game tournaments. And I guess the only, I would say, safe bet is City of the Wolves. Who knows when it's actually coming out? I don't think it'll be this year, but it could be. I don't know, right? But it's the next big game on the horizon, almost certainly coming out before Project L. So any new game at all we're looking for news for, that'll be the one. Although, you know, there's always surprises. There's always things you don't expect. So on that front, expect the unexpected, I suppose. Like after Third Strike finals are done, Capcom comes out and says, oh, by the way, we're launching Street Fighter 3 Fourth Strike. Now, is that likely to happen? Obviously, of course not. But hey, who knows, right? We don't know what we don't know, and there's always something new brewing up for the horizon. That all said, though, friends, that is the EVO news as it stands. Myself, if I'll be attending this year, I'll work it out. It's hard for me being the hillbilly and all. Like, for me, it's a 4-hour train ride just to get to the city that has the airport, let alone getting to the airport itself. The trials and travails of someone who lives in the middle of nowhere. That's just kind of how that works out. I will say, though, whatever goes down, I'm sure it's going to be good. EVO is always a big event, to say the least. It's kind of the biggest event of all of fighting games. There's always something special. There's always fantastic moments. So even if you can't go in person, I would say just make sure to watch at the very least, because fun stuff is always going to go down, especially with so many games making their first year debut this time around. Maybe 4 years from now, when you're still seeing Tekken 8, when you're still seeing Street Fighter 6, maybe you'll get sick of them then. But for now, they're still very fresh and exciting. But that's the news, that's the event. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and otherwise, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.
Love